Hi friends, it's tax time. And you know what that means? You're gonna get a ton of money, and so are we. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today I wanna talk to you about how to spend your tax return. And so, did you know that 8 out of 10 Americans get a tax return? And on average, they get about $2,800 in tax return money back. That is insane to me. So let's talk about taxes for a few minutes here, and then I'll tell you exactly what we spent on our tax returns and how we spent it, what we did with each dollar. Every single dollar, we spent it completely. And I'm gonna tell you what we spent it on. So first of all, did you know that Jesus paid taxes? He told his disciple, he said, go out there, catch a fish, and in his mouth you're gonna find 2 coins, and just pay our taxes with that. And so that's what he did, and he caught that fish and there's 2 coins in it and he paid his taxes. The Bible is crazy, and I love that. So if you're running low on money to pay taxes, just think about that story and ask Jesus to provide for you. So another thing about taxes I want to talk about is sometimes we are getting too much of a return. And so this year we did something a little bit different. With Chad's check, we didn't allocate any taxes to go out of his check every single week because we knew we were going to get a return. And why give the government money for free without interest and just get it back at the end of the year? We were like, no, let's just keep that money in our budget and our weekly budget. We're going to need it. So that's what we did. And then that's what you should do too. And then so we just lived off of what I did for taxes, and it worked really well. So here's the thing. This is what we got back for taxes. So this year we got back about $2,500. That was a lot of money, you know? Anybody could use about $2,500. And the first thing that we did with that $2,500 was tithe. We gave 10% away, so to speak. That's what tithe means. And if you're a Christian, I encourage you to tithe. And even if you're not a Christian, I encourage you to give 10% of your income away. This will give you a really healthy relationship with money, and it'll put the whole entire world in perspective. And sometimes what you do with your money reflects your character, honestly. So I just encourage you to always give 10% of your money away, no matter what. So first thing we did, $250, we wrote a check out to our local church. And then what we did next was kind of unusual too. We took the rest of it and bought a big flat screen TV. I'm just kidding. Of course we didn't do that. That's psycho. This is why I'm making this video. We're doing practical things with our money. We're letting our money work for us. So what we did is we took $1,000 off that $2,500 and we gave it to our children's college funds. So each boy is going to get $500 instantly put into their college fund. We really care about their education. We really care about seeing their dreams fulfilled and seeing them get a faster start in life. And as we all know, there's a serious epidemic, honestly, in student loan crisis that we are trying to cure, and we're going to help our students, our kids, our students, get out of that really fast. So that's what we did with that. And then the last part, as you know, we're trying to pay off our mortgage. We're trying to get out of debt completely, debt-free living. We put the last $1,250 onto our mortgage. And we're going to get closer to that May goal of paying off our mortgage. So we're really excited about that. Some other suggestions to what to do with a big lump sum of money, not just a tax return, is it all comes back to goals. So you should always have something in mind. I'm going to do this with my money. If I get a big lump, if I get a bonus, if I'm going to get $1,000 for my mom, something like that. You always should have a plan in mind of what to do with your money. So it all comes down to goals, like I said. So do you have $1,000 saved, for instance? If you don't, I would recommend after you pay 10%, give it away, put $1,000 into that fund for emergencies, just in case something happens. Also, for instance, next year, me and Chad really need a car for him to drive around. Right now, we kind of drive a beater car and a kind of nice car. We kind of need 2 reliable cars. Next year, we might be putting that towards something that we're saving for. It should always go towards something that you're working towards. So let's say you want to go on a really big trip and you've been planning it for years and you've been saving for it every single week. Maybe you want to put a little bit of that to that. It's not just feel like on a whim, I want to go to Hawaii. It's something that you want to dream about. That's something that's in your heart that's going to make sense for your life. I hope that makes sense. And then also, maybe you are an entrepreneur and you have a business idea. I know a friend of mine just today told me that they're going to take part of their tax return and they're gonna make a bee farm out of it. They're gonna become beekeepers, so they're gonna start saving for that entrepreneurship. So lots of good ideas there, but I encourage you to really pray about and consider these tips and spend your tax return right, guys. Let's be wise with our money. Let's be grown-ups. And so anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you have the best day ever. I'll see you guys later. Bye.